Okay, let's do it. There's the other one. And back. So next step, I gotta make some forms or stations. So I've got 2 sheets of 4x8 full plywood here to do that. I'll show you what that looks like. So here's what the plans are like. As you can see, it's just a bunch of lines right now, but each one represents a station. So 1 would be this little bit in here. 2 would be the next one. And 3, 4 all the way up to 8. This is just the forward part. So there's 8 or 9 more in the back part. So I got to basically trace these lines onto the plywood, cut out the plywood, and then set these up on a strong back. So this becomes the mold, and the strips go upon these things. So there's the forward one, and how I do that, there's 2 ways you can do it really. So you could simply cut out the lines and then traced on as you cut. But I'm not sure I'll do that. I'm going to use tracing paper, carbon paper, because if I cut it out and I mess up, then the plans are ruined. So if I trace them onto the board, then I'll still have the plans in case I messed up. So, made a little bit of carbon paper here to cover the whole width of the biggest station, and just kind of taped them together, put them on the outside so it actually transfers. I'll secure this in place, and then as I draw on the other side of the paper, the carbon's going to transfer right onto the wood. Then I should have a good view. I did this same method last time on my last build and it seemed to work out okay, so I'll keep at that. So those are the stations. The other thing I have to do here is the stems. So these are made the same way, but they are the front and the back of the boat. So there's 2 different stems. Somehow I got to figure out which is which. They're not marked, but this is an asymmetrical boat that I'm building, so the stems are different. The front is not the same as the back, and that's why I've got a front section and a back section. Trace it along. It's been so long since I did the last one. I can barely remember this process. Stay on the line. Nine, 10. See, the other one came out okay here too. Should be enough. Straight edge. Most of them will follow the same station line. That might get worn out pretty good. Here's half. Do the other half. That looks kind of straight too. Let's use a straight edge on that. And this here is part of what they call a tumble home, so it kind of slopes in. Gives you a little more reach to the water, which helps when you're, well, I don't know, I've never paddled one with tumble home before, so it'll be a new experience. Hopefully you'll like it. Here. And of course that's right on the edge, so that should be pretty square. A little easier on this side for a righty. Maybe a lefty for the other side. No lefties around here though. Pretty much meets here. Let's see how it gets in the middle, close together, almost like contour lines. Then as you move to the end, it gets further apart, so that creates the rocker in the boat. And the more rocker you have, the easier it is to turn, which is good for rapids. So we look at it. Inches, it's got 1 1/4 inches of rocker on the aft. So when I do the bow sections, see how much rocker it has too. For this boat, solo boat, I don't want too much rocker, so that's not very much really. The Popular Prospector, I think that's maybe twice as much rocker. But yeah, if you're on flat water a lot, like I'm going to be, the less amount of rocker makes it able to stay straight tracking. So for lakes and flat water, that's that's better. But a little bit's good in case you need to turn, in case there's some riffles. So yeah, that's how that works. This is the bottom of the boat. And this will be the top. Open end here, where all these flat lines are. And the gunnel here. This line represents the water line, I believe. But of course that depends on how much you load it up with. But it's just mostly for reference. So there's two. Should number them actually. So 9. That's the right middle. And 10. We'll keep moving along and I'm gonna do 11. Let's have a look. Oh, there's my mistake. No big deal. But it's transferring pretty good. Carbon paper's still working. Let's see how this one is starting to fade. I might have to shift the carbon paper for that. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'll be able to cut that out. I'm gonna move to this other side now. Okay, this is the last one. As you'll notice, I switched to particle board. The reason I did that is the particle board is a lot flatter to plywood I had. I noticed had a little warp to it. So instead of dealing with that, I just went and got some particle board. So I got all the stations all transferred on. This is the last one. All done. Oop, just a part there. Got it.